In my last video, I talked about objective versus subjective morality. I compared the two moral theories, moral realism and moral relativism, and I explained how there was a quote-unquote unacceptable term for believing in moral relativism regarding just subjectivity and society and how justice works. But in this video, I'm going to continue with this argument, and I'm going to explain why a transcendent being, God, is necessary for holding to an objective worldview on morality. So, let's start off by defining what objective morality means. Objective morality means that moral facts exist, and that they are true, and that they are basically the reality, right? Murder is wrong, true, that is a fact. Rape is wrong, that is true, is a fact. Now, in moral relativism or in subjective morality, if you hold to that worldview, then you believe that they are more of opinions, right? For example, I walk into an ice cream shop and I tell my buddy, hey, chocolate ice cream is the best. Now, since that claim is dependent on my human opinion, my preference, it's a subjective claim, completely relative. There's no truth beyond me, right? And this is the same thing with morals if you hold to the position of subjective morality. So that's what those two mean. Simplifying it, right? Objective morality means that moral facts exist and they are independent from human opinion. Subjective morality means that moral facts don't exist but are opinions and that they are dependent on our human preference. So, why do I believe that there needs to be a God for objective morality? It's simple. For there to be objective moral obligations that are not only bound to the individual, but to everybody, then there must be a moral obligator that is transcendent from everyone. This is what Frank Turek said, and I really liked it. It's a very good exclamation, right? Now, I believe this is God and can only be God. But what if that's not true? What else can be this transcendent moral obligator? So we have to understand that there is a criteria for what this moral obligator can be. Okay? So the first requirement it needs to fulfill is that it needs to be transcendent from everyone, right? Like I just said. The second would be that they cannot be morally neutral. Now, there's a lot of things in this world, such as nature or, this book right here is morally neutral. It does not lean on one side of the spectrum or tell us what is good or evil at all. And the third is that their moral obligations have to be known. I find this isn't necessarily a have to, but it is what we need, right? Because if the moral obligations are not known, the position is just useless. So, the first requirement alone, being transcendent, already eliminates the atheistic worldview. Now, why is this? Well, it's simple. In atheism, there is nothing that is transcendent from the human mind, right? There is no greater creator or power than oneself. So, this eliminates atheism, I would say, of course. So, the second requirement, not being morally neutral, eliminates all claims of nature being a moral standard or a obligator, such as the claim evolution and natural selection determines our moral behavior. This cannot be, because nature does not produce oughts. It only produces right? Facts about our nature. And it is not a scientific or natural fact that determined by evolution that incest, rape, or stealing are evil actions instead of good, right? And has not determined that humans have value or that humans should flourish. And this is all because nature is morally neutral. So, thus we should not rely on it as a transcendent moral obligator. And the third, their obligations have to be known. This is the most important, I would say, and it eliminates all positions of agnosticism, where a God exists and is transcendent and may be morally neutral, right? Of course, we wouldn't know that, but the problem is that their obligations are not known, right? If we have a moral obligator, which is this agnostic God who doesn't communicate with us, it cannot be an exclamation for the obligations. because we don't know if it has obligations. So their obligations, even if they have them, cannot be known 100% and cannot be known clearly at all, which just makes the position ethically useless and impossible to apply to a society. So with all these positions eliminated from the requirements, we are left with a transcendent, not morally neutral being whose obligations are known and known clearly. This is God, and my position holds. It can only be God. Even more specifically, though, it is a God from a religion. We have zoomed in from agnosticism, and we have reached a point where we need a God who is transcendent, not morally neutral, and their obligations have to be known through whatever, scripture like the Bible or Revelation. So, this video, simplified, right? For there to be objective moral obligations that are bound to everyone, there must be a transcendent obligator obligating these morals that is transcendent from everyone, right? So this has to be God, right? I would find it very ludicrous to think it could be anything else. Now, of course, if you don't even believe morals are objective, therefore this video is completely irrelevant, go watch my last video because I talk about an unacceptable term for believing in subjective morality. I might make a video that kind of goes through the question or my video a little bit more specifically, so I can touch on some points and maybe mention some comments on that video. So I hope you enjoyed this one. Type in the comments what you think about this video, if you agree or disagree, and I'd love to hear feedback on what arguments I should do next or what type of videos I should make. So thanks for watching, and make sure to subscribe to Crown of Life Apologetics, and have a good one. God bless.